With Legacy of the Dark Knight out, I had a hankering for the old Batman Arkham games. And unsurprisingly, these games still hold up incredibly well, all except for Arkham Knight. And yes, Arkham Knight is lacking. It lacks worse than Arkham Origins ever did, and I will die on that hill. So look, for all its faults, it's still a good game, with very good mechanics, excellent hand-to-hand combat. However, I hate to say this, but the story was an embarrassment. I know about Paul Dini stepping down from writing Arkham Knight after writing the excellent Asylum and City games, but I really wish he stuck around for Knight. Especially with what we ended up with. It desperately needed him. I mean, just look at the 6-minute side mission with Hush. That was a waste of a premier Batman villain. The main issue, though, one that I can't move past because I'm petty like that, is the Arkham Knight turning out to be Jason Todd, the second Robin. So let's pretend there isn't some convoluted prequel comic that we need to read in order to get some more backstory on the Arkham vs. Jason. Look, tie-ins are cool when done right, but you shouldn't need an outside source of information to better understand what's going on in a movie or in a video game. Everything you need to know about the game's story should be in the game and only the game. So Batman comes to rescue Gordon at the mall after narrowly escaping Arkham Knight's giant Dr. Eggman drilling machine, but is ambushed from behind. Surprise, surprise, it's the Arkham Knight, and he reveals himself to be Jason, who, friendly reminder, was not mentioned at all until this very game. So there are like 2 bits of dialogue that are easy to miss in Arkham Asylum and City regarding Joker talking about Robin, but this confirms that Jason was the second Robin after Dick. And they whack you over the head with that information in the movie studio level, since there are 3 flashback hallucinations in a row that tackle that reveal. One honestly would have been enough, right? It would have been just ambiguous as to whether or not Bruce saved Jason or not, or he didn't and he came back to life. But that would probably just make the reveal seem more subversive, and that doesn't equal a good reveal, right? So who knows? Now, one line from Batman really rubs me the wrong way, and it's this one.
Joker sent me the film. I saw him kill you.
Like, Bruce, no you didn't. Did you find a body? Obviously not, because Jason is standing right there. But you make literally the same mistake earlier in the game when you thought Oracle killed herself. That even hallucination Joker calls you out on. Why would you take this pathological liar at his word and believe that he killed your surrogate son? That is grossly negligent for Arkham Batman, seeing as how he's the most capable version of the Dark Knight out there. Also, I get it's the lingering fear gas making him imagine all the horrible things Joker did to Jason, but dude, why did you replace Jason with Tim during your search? And if we're following what we assume is a cohesive enough timeline based on the Batgirl DLC, did Barbara not help search for him? Was she just okay with Tim taking on the mantle? Just please tell me she wasn't as terrible at detective work as Bruce apparently was. And the icing on the cake is that he wasn't even trapped in some third world country with Batman racing against the clock to find him and rescue him before being blown up. No, Jason was held in an abandoned wing of Arkham Asylum. That's dumb, right? I can't be alone on that. Like, how did no one find him? Not just the Bat family, but the staff and the guards. Okay, I guess since the iconic Officer Balls was in league with Joker, he pulled it off somehow, but he's just one guy, right? Who else was on the inside? Warden Sharp? I doubt it. I guess Clayface? It's never explained in-game how he pulled that off, and it makes Batman look bad, and you don't want that in your Batman game. And I've only read some snippets of Jason's backstory in the prequel tie-in comics, so maybe they go into better detail, but if that's the case, then should I also take into account the fact that Batman monitors the Asylum security feed? I mean, Assault on Arkham is also a prequel story, so why not acknowledge it? Also, why did Joker hire Deathstroke to keep Jason captive during the first game events? And not, I don't know, kill Batman? Like, that's just lazy writing, dude. Okay, so once you beat Jason and prevent the assault on the GCPD, you then have to turn yourself into Scarecrow and get wheeled all the way to Arkham Island to save Gordon and Robin. I guess because the game decided it was time to be over. It doesn't matter at this point. But what I don't get is, why did Jason suddenly decide to help Bruce? And how did Bruce know he would come through after their fight? Just character motivation is out the window now. The guy who set up an entire militia to kill bats and take over Gotham just gave up and now wants to be a good guy. I'm done. I've stopped caring, and so did the writers, man. I could go on and on about how they also sidelined Nightwing from the finale, and I'm convinced his presence in this game was just an afterthought, but nah, I think I've said quite enough. Arkham Knight isn't irredeemably bad, it just shouldn't have fallen off with its story beats. And truth be told, I have no idea who else could have been the Knight instead of Jason. I thought it would be cool if it was Lincoln March, aka Thomas Wayne Jr., the alleged secret brother of Bruce who appeared in the Court of Owls saga, but I really don't know. Thankfully, this wasn't the last we'd see of the Arkham series, and there's still a demand for Batman games, so let's hope they don't turn out like this again, or worse.